Everything you're about to hear and see is a true story.
Hey guys, this is Crash Into Yours too. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Um, I'm not gonna die. I know I made the title very clickbaity for you guys to click on it, but this is a really big topic that I want to talk about. Driving safety. It is the most important thing. Well, one of the most important things in today's day and age. Like, everywhere you look, people are on the road. There's thousands of cars driving every day, and everyone else has their own life that you don't know what's going on. And in that split moment of you're driving, enjoying your time on the road, and all of a sudden, someone slams into you from behind. There are a couple different outcomes, whether you could have a couple injuries, or you die, or you're totally unscathed. But nonetheless, people crash and get hurt. And it's a terrifying, terrifying event to go through. Just a couple weeks ago, as some of you may know, I texted you guys like crazy, telling you about what was going on. When we had a big torrential downpour of a week long of rain here in Texas and DFW area, I was driving on the road and I hydroplaned, and it was the most terrifying thing I have ever experienced. Worse than a horror movie, and that's kind of weird to say, but like, it literally stops your heart. I was driving on the road too fast, which was on my fault. The whole thing was my fault. But nonetheless, I was driving on the far left lane of a big highway, and the road was slick, and all of a sudden, my car just took off. It just veered off to the right, and I had no control. I was doing a 180, maybe a 270, maybe 360, I have no idea. I hit a truck a couple times, and when the whole thing was over, my car with the back end was up against a girder facing oncoming traffic on an exit to another highway. So I was totally unscathed, no bruises, no cuts, no nothing, but my car was totaled, basically. It's a terrifying, terrifying event to be in. Thank God that I was not injured, but there are some people that are not so lucky. One of my coworkers from work just passed away just the other day. She was driving on the road on one of the highways here in Texas, and there was a giant semi that was in front of her. Both cars slammed into each other. She was in the back, the semi was in the front. Her car smashed into the back of the semi and caught fire, and it spread throughout the whole area. And the only one that was left alive was the semi driver. My coworker passed away that night. And this is, it hasn't fully sunken in, but I can tell, like, it's, all of these events are just, and by the way, I am not acting. I'm sorry if I'm not crying to show any emotion, but I was, for me as a guy, I was very shaken from the first crash, and that startled me. And now every time I look at other cars being crashed, I know what that feels like. It is very scary, and you can lose your life. You don't know when you will actually live or die. The next second, you could have a heart attack. without even knowing. You could have an internal problem that you never knew about, and God calls you to just die right there. It's terrifying. Death is an unexpected thing, and there's no way to expect when it happens because it's unexpected, and there's no way to prepare for it. But the best thing that we can do is just to live our lives well and purely, I guess. I don't know. Man, I think I'm getting a little PTSD from back then. Breathe, Jeff. Car safety is the most important thing, one of the most important things in this day and age, because there are so many cars driving and you don't know when your life could end. And I wanted to make this video to make sure everyone knows to drive carefully on the highway, on anywhere, any street. You don't know where the next corner could be when someone just comes out and crashes into you. I mean, just today I was coming home from getting gas at the gas station, and what I thought was a car turning into the gas station turned off their flicker when I wasn't looking, and I thought I had the go forward, and I didn't crash this time, but we were 2 or 3 feet away from having another accident. You don't know when these things will happen. So please, please drive carefully. Live your life to the fullest. Don't do anything stupid. And also, motorcyclists, please have sense of decency. Like, even if you're in your lane, that does not give you the authority, the leniency to just bob and weave in your lane. You are asking for trouble. You don't know if your bike could slip and then you go underneath all the cars and they drive right over you. Please, please drive safely. I don't know how often the government has us do, any driver has to always get their driver's license renewed. But I don't even know if the government has the power or has a rule where you have to retake the test, which honestly I think we should. Every maybe 5 years, maybe even sooner than that. But it has to be, all of that knowledge has to be within our brain at the moment when we get in the car. I say a prayer to God to protect me every single time I get in the car, every single time I drive, and that's protected me. If I didn't say the prayer to God, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. The Crash Indie Wars channel would be gone. You wouldn't know that I had died. Death is an unexpected thing, and especially death by cars. It is so sudden. Like, when I hydroplaned, the event felt like just a second. Like 2 or 3 seconds. It was that fast. It is terrifying. I've said that so many times, but you don't know unless you've actually been in one. I don't know if my friend's family will ever see this video, but if you do, I'm so sorry for your loss. We were good friends at work, and we talked a lot about fun stuff. She told me about some of her personal issues, and I try to help her through them, kind of in a little ways. But I'm so sorry for your loss. I haven't had anyone close to me pass away in a long time. I mean, at least last that I can remember was my grandfather that passed away when I was like 2 or 3 years old, and I never actually spent time with him. Just please, please stay safe. Everywhere you go. Stay safe. Drive smart.